All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We were just talking about swimming before the break. And how many of you, when you go swimming here in Florida at the coast, whether it's the Gulf Coast or the Atlantic Coast, how many of you in the back of your mind or are constantly on the lookout for sharks? The media, the news, everything makes you aware of sharks. And I'm not telling you not to be. I'm just asking, how many. I do it all the time. I'm looking all the time. If you go just to the headlines in the news, just in the past couple of weeks, right? Here's one. Naked swimmer bitten by shark at Florida beach. How about that one? Florida not backing expansion to federal ban on shark fin possession. There's another shark story. Shark bites both legs of Florida man. But don't panic. Attacks are actually down this year, it says here.
That's a good thing.
Shark bites woman off Florida Keys, U.S. Coast Guard says. That was on the 23rd. What's today, the 24th? So that was yesterday. And then 1 hour ago, here's this headline. President Trump disrupts vital shark research in Florida. George Burgess is on the phone. He knows his sharks. He's one of the top shark attack experts in the world, and he's talking to us about the National Geographic television special Shark Fest event that began yesterday. And let's talk about sharks a little bit with somebody who knows more about it than I ever will. He knows more about sharks than I know about microphones, I guess.
And he's also the director of the University of Florida program for shark research, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you for that. George Burgess, good morning, sir. What an honor. Thank you for being on our show.
Good to be with you.
Have you heard all these headlines already, or do you hear them all the time, all these shark headlines?
Well, I've heard all of those, and I do hear most of them. That's part of our business. We maintain the International Shark Attack File, so it's our job to investigate shark attacks when they occur. So we do searches on the internet every day, every morning, and pick up every shark story around the world.
Do you look for a specific type of shark, or like what is it? Is it the lemon shark they say won't bite you? Is that true?
No, lemon sharks will bite you, and I've got a few holes in me from one of them. So I can tell you that for a fact.
What is it? Are they small? Is a lemon shark small?
They're small when they're started and big when they end.
Okay.
Absolutely. Happily, the one that bit me was one of the little squirts, and other than injuring my pride, didn't do too much more. But that's a tropical shark that we see primarily in the southern part of Florida.
So, and the southern part of Florida is where the president has his home in Mar-a-Lago. I don't even know how to say that thing, Mar-a-Lago. Are you familiar with that headline this morning about the shark research had to be postponed while he went home or something? Yeah,
the security is keeping people out of the areas around what shall they call it? The Southern White House. What is their euphemism for it?
I think that's what they say. Yeah. So what?
Any case, the scientists can't get in to do their study in the waters nearby.
So I want you to make sure we talk about the event that started yesterday. But two questions that I have from listeners who wrote in. One, is there any such thing as a shark repellent? Is that true?
Well, there's been attempts at shark repellents. For instance, we know there's a variety of chemicals that sharks don't like, just like there are things that we don't like. And in fact, one of the best ones is ivory liquid. If you got a bottle of ivory liquid with you, and a shark comes, squirt it in its face, and it'll probably turn around and move away.
Oh my gosh!
But the problem is the ocean is a pretty big bunch of water, and you got to have an awful lot of ivory liquid to keep yourself safe.
Oh my gosh! The other one was, if we are bleeding, will we attract sharks?
We will, at some level. It just depends on how badly, and of course where we are. In Florida waters, there are sharks around most all the time, and so blood can be attracted. But the small cut or something like that, even a menstruating woman won't cause that much of a problem.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people usually at the beach.
Yeah.
That could be a lot of blood.
Yeah, it could be, but there's the other side of the story is that we make quite the commotion as well. So
They don't like that.
The sharks, oftentimes are pushed off by a lot of activity.
The advent of the camera on everything. We have a camera on everything. We see more pictures of sharks now. Guys on surfboards, for example, people with these drones taking pictures of sharks. It makes it seem that the sharks are more plentiful now. But is it just that we're getting more photographs of them?
Yeah, I think you hit that one on the head. The advent of having everybody having a cell phone and all of them having cameras and of course the next step, which is everything you see immediately has to be put out in the social media, has resulted in thousands and thousands of reporters wherever we are, and of course that means any event that gets recorded and hits the internet very quickly.
During your Shark Fest week, every night you have a different topic, and tonight's topic is tiger shark terror.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tiger sharks are one of the big three in terms of when we worry about which species cause the most damage to humans, and of course, it's one of the largest of the predatory sharks, second only to the great white in size, and so that's one of those species we have the most concern about.
So when you were asked by National Geographic to help with a TV special called Shark Fest, do you sometimes cringe at the requests of people like me who say we need something spectacular? Does it go against what you believe is really true about the shark?
Oh yeah, as scientists we cringe when we see a lot of programming on sharks, and of course, as media representatives, you oftentimes simply repeat what you've seen on TV or whatever.
Right.
The fact of the matter is that most shark programming on TV tends to be closer to entertainment than the documentaries, and so the viewer would be wise to look at shows carefully and determine which one is more factual than another, and which is more providing information than just pure entertainment. And of course, as one might have seen last night, chasing a virtual shark in a swim meet is anything but science.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw that in the news. I didn't quite know what was happening there. All right. So what about the other fish that could hurt or bite us and hurt us? Why does the shark always seem to come to the surface? Aren't there barracudas and other dangerous fish out there that could all hurt us in the same way a shark can?
There are, and I guess maybe what you're campaigning for is a Barracuda week or a jellyfish week or my favorite, sea lice week.
Sea lice.
Yeah, maybe you need to pitch that to somebody in Hollywood.
Well, here's why I asked that, because I went snorkeling down in the Keys. And the guy who rented the snorkel and the mask, he said, just make sure you're not wearing anything shiny because the barracudas will try to bite it, and in doing that, they'll bite you. And I actually saw a barracuda when I was doing this, and they looked pretty menacing. They didn't look as big as a shark, and they left me alone. But I thought, thank God I'm not wearing something shiny.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. They equate they're used to seeing the shine of light off of scales of fish as their normal food items, and so light glinting off of your ring or a necklace or whatever, but something especially in the hands of the feet where there's movement confuse them. And so barracuda not infrequently will grab a human hand or a foot because of that. And so, don't wear any shiny things in the water. Same thing for sharks. It's better not to do that. So leave your bling at home when you enter the sea.
Do you have a favorite topic that will be airing this week?
Well, I like sharks in all respects, so that would be a hard one for me. But there's a show that's going to look at why sharks tend to aggregate or be found together on occasion. Of course, most sharks are found as solitary animals, but Tuesday night, the show called Shark Swarm looks like it should be a good one, talking a little bit for why sharks sometimes are found in groups.
Nice.
And so it sounds like what you're saying is they're not normally found in groups. They don't hunt in packs like dogs.
No, not at all. They're solitary hunters, but sharks aggregate sometimes around a food source. If there's a big food source like a huge school of fish, or for certain species of sharks, a dead whale or something, then sharks will be found in numbers to feed on things.
Almost like a.
But other times they get together for other purposes, including reproduction, and then
sense.
once in a while for purposes just getting ready to move, and that happens in Florida in the springtime. We see big aggregation of sharks off our southeast coast as the waters begin to warm to the north, and then off they head up the U.S. East Coast for the summer.
Wow.
And for whatever reason, sharks fascinate us, and so hopefully we will get some viewers to go to the National Geographic television special. Today's day 2 of Shark Fest. Just go to the website is what, nationalgeographic.com?
I believe that's right.
All right. George, thank you for being on the air with us today. Very good stuff, and very much an honor to have you on our show.
Real nice to be with you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.